Hello everyone, how are we all? Welcome back to my channel and to another weekly food shop and meal plan video. I love filming these videos and I know you all enjoy them too. So I'm back with kind of like a summer budget savings edition, and I'm titling this summer budget savings because summer's expensive, like holidays, trips, it's just a lot going on, and we kind of just really wanted to eat out the freezer this week. We just got back from holiday, we've been up to see my family, like we've kind of not really been in the flat for a solid week in a long time. So if you're watching this video and you feel like you want to get back into like a routine, watching your pennies again, shopping sensibly and considered, then this video is going to be for you. I've already formed the list for the week. I'm filming this on a Tuesday. I usually do food shops on a Monday, but there was some bits left over that we could have used. So last night we had enchiladas, which were delicious. So this week, what we're going to have Tuesday, which is today, we're making a mushroom, pea, and green bean risotto, and again that's using up everything that's been in the fridge. So we're talking green beans that are kind of on their last legs and some random mushrooms that really could do with being eaten. Then Wednesday we're going to do a black bean stir fry with bean sprouts, and that's to try and combat some of the jars in our fridge because we have loads of like half chili and garlic and like half jar of black bean sauce that really could do with being eaten. Thursday I had a look in the freezer and we've got some like red cabbage in there, and I thought we could do a sausage bake, kind of more an autumnal dish, but the weather in England hasn't been great recently, so we're going to do sausage and apple bake with sweet potatoes because, oh, I've just found a butternut squash. Ah, see, this is why you've got to look. In the veg box we've got some sweet potatoes that really do need eating, and a random red onion that's kind of on its last legs, and a butternut squash, which I completely forgot that we had. Friday I had a look in the freezer, and in this little Tupperware is 2 lots of pizza dough. Now this is uni pizza dough. I made this a couple of weeks ago, probably a month ago actually, but the uni boxes make 4 lots of dough. So we had 2 pizzas back then and I froze the other 2, so you can just take them out, leave them to thaw, leave them to prove, and then they're good to go. Saturday we're actually out at a party at a friend's house, so we're not going to be eating here. And Sunday we're going to do a green tikka curry with rice. So we're going to do like roasted peppers, cauliflower, that kind of thing. So full-ish, we've got 5 meals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meals in total this week. Obviously top ups we need like bread, milk, that kind of thing. I'm actually going to make a fresh loaf of bread because we've got 2 lots of bread flour that needs using up. So I'm going to bust out the bread maker when we're back. And then I'm going to check in with you guys throughout the week when we're cooking the meals. So without further ado, let's grab some shopping bags and let's head to the shops. Remembered I had some apricots in the fridge from my odd box delivery last week, so I want to make an apricot cake. So I've just googled a recipe, so I'm frantically getting all the ingredients out, like eggs and butter. I'm nearly done with my list. I've only got a few more things left to go, and because we are going to a party this weekend, I thought we could have a look down the wine aisle together because that's always good. These Trek protein flapjacks are so good as well. I've had them before, the salted caramel flavour. They've got 9 grams of protein in, and they're plant-based as well. They are delish. Right, let's go and find some wine. So because we are going to see Katie's family, who we were in Italy with, and they're hosting like a Mexican themed party, so we're gonna get some Prosecco, which is kind of Italian, and this is $7.99 on special, and this is usually the stuff that you mix with Aperol, so I'm gonna get a couple of bottles of that. Okay, so I'm back from the food shop and I've just unpacked everything. This is actually quite a lot considering the price. I was really impressed. So the total was $47.74 after I took off the car parking charge. Just because it is London, you have to pay for your car park, but you get it off your shop. This is everything. Obviously, there are some items in here that naturally wouldn't be in a weekly food shop normally, like, I mean, Prosecco probably would be, let's be honest, but this is really, really good vanilla. This is Taylor and College vanilla bean extract. It's really, really good, but it is slightly more expensive than regular vanilla extract. But aside from that, it's just a usual food shop. So we've got some Waitrose Essential seasonal apples, some Wild Rocket, and some Little Gem lettuce. This had 20% off as well. We just go through this like no tomorrow with summer. Got some more of these Catleugh organic vegetable stock cubes. These are just really, really good stock cubes. I feel like, whereas the cheaper ones, you sometimes need 2 for the intense flavour, these 1 works a treat. I had to go and grab some butter in Sainsbury's because Waitrose fridges were broken, so I also picked up some of the Trek protein flapjacks, bean sprouts and noodles for the stir fry. I also got some flowers as well. I've got some carnations and some gypsophilia. Picked up 1 courgette for the curry. I've got some medium eggs to make the cake with. Some essentials, light mayonnaise, mozzarella for the pizzas. 2 bowls. Actually worked out cheaper to buy the 2 in a pack. The Minor Figures barista oat milk, because this just is the best for coffees and it was on special. The Canti Prosecco for the party at the weekend. Natural yogurt for breakfasts. Got the Cauldron Lincolnshire sausages. This is like the only processed thing in the whole of the food shop, and these are just so good. Like, they're vegetarian and they're really, really tasty, and they taste like normal sausages. I got a lot of questions about people saying, why would you want to eat something that tastes like meat but isn't meat? But when you grow up eating it, you kind of do miss it, even now after I've been pescatarian for a few years and veggie for a few years before that. But they are really tasty. Naan breads for the curry and some British bloobs. Obviously, yeah, the vanilla extract. This is just the best for the cakes. A reduced cauliflower. Baby leaf greens. These are going to get chopped up with the sausage bake. A garlic baguette for the risotto this evening. Bananas for smoothies, just to take that off. Some cherry tomatoes. These are just really, really good. Just like a snack and to have with salad. Some closed cup mushrooms. 2 loose carrots. Some peppers. Coriander. And a large onion. Let's get rid of that too. And I got a copy of the Waitrose Weekend. How good does that fruit sundae look with profiteroles? Delicious. So I've just finished up work for the day and I'm going to set the loaf of bread away to bake whilst we get cracking on with dinner. I've actually spoke about this bread machine before. It's really good. It's from Panasonic. You just build everything in this little thing here. I know bread makers aren't particularly like revolutionary or new, but I love them. I'm going to make a medium loaf. No, I'm going to do a large loaf actually. So half a kilo of bread flour, a bit of butter, sugar, salt, water and dry yeast. Then we're done. Okay, so we're doing it on basic bread and I want to have it on a fairly, let's do dark crust, and size, it's a large loaf. Okay, 4 hours and 5 minutes, starting now. So this is dinner number 1 this evening, and these are all the ingredients you're going to need. We are making a mushroom, green bean and pea risotto. So these were the leftover peas, and yeah, these green beans really are on their last legs. Also got some closed cut mushrooms. I'm not going to use all of these, around a good chunky handful. Got some parmesan. This is actually grana padano, just because it needs using up as well. And garlic baguette we're going to have with it as well. I had some of this truffle oil in the cupboard. You do not need to put truffle oil in this, just because I have it and we use it very sparingly. 3 cloves of garlic, a large white onion, and we've got some stock cubes. And then traditionally you would use white wine, but we don't have any and I didn't want to go and buy another bottle unnecessarily, so we're just going to have leftovers of this and some risotto rice. And that's everything. This is the arborio rice. You don't need to rinse it beforehand because the starch actually makes the risotto nice and creamy. So we're going to add some olive oil to the pan. This is just regular olive oil, nothing too fancy at all. And then in this pan I'm going to pop 2 stock cubes. If you've got fresh stock, you can use that by all means, but these ones are really good. 2 of those. And we're going to add around 800-900 ml of boiling water in there. Okay, so in the pan, I'm just going to mince in 3 cloves of garlic. Wouldn't usually add garlic when we're softening the onions, but we're going to do this for a really, really low heat, so nothing will catch and burn. I prefer to grate in the garlic, so just for the smooth the texture of it. If you salt your onions as well, it helps with the browning of them too, and releases all the moisture. Okay, so into the stock, I'm just going to add the green beans and just give them a quick blanch. And the onions and garlic have softened down beautifully. Now you'll hear there's barely any sizzle. That's perfect. So I'm going to add in the risotto rice. I usually do 1 cup for 2 people, so that's me and Zara's. Just go straight in. Okay, so now the rice had a couple of minutes in the pan, I'm going to add in the wine. You can use a vermouth if you have that, like lying around, like any dry vermouth. You've got like an unopened bottle if you've made a couple of martinis. But any kind of dry wine, rosé works fine. Just cook off all the alcohol and then we can start adding in our mushrooms. I'm adding in the chestnut mushrooms. Just giving them a little stir to get some colour. This is smelling so good already. Now I'm going to start ladling in the stock with the green beans. And then just going to stir all that. You can add a lot of stock in the first sitting, but then just gradually add it once it all absorbs. Risottos aren't quick, but they are worth the labour of love. Okay, as you can see, it's thickened up beautifully. I'm adding all of these peas in. Oh, that was so satisfying, wasn't it? And then just stirring that through. This has been blipping away for about 20 minutes now, so it's a good time to like give the rice a taste. If it's still got like a gritty bite to it, then you know you're a bit off. But yeah, it's just cooking along beautifully. The peas don't need blanching because they cook in the sauce. I'm just grating some grana padano over here. So you can use veggie parmesan if you prefer. We just had a massive bunch of this left over. And grana padano's got like a nice nutty flavour. It's just, it smells so good. It's not as like pungent and punchy as parmesan, but it's got a gorgeous flavour. Oh, that is looking good. So that's going to get added into the risotto. I'm going to stir through some truffle oil and a little bit of unsalted butter. We're going to pour in the grana padano. Oh god, that looks so good. Might seem like a lot, but when it's microplaned, it's only about 2 good handfuls. I know I didn't list this in the original ingredients, but a squeeze of lemon works lovely with peas and green beans, just to give it a bit of lightness and freshness. A little knob of butter, a good scrunch of salt, and black pepper. Okay, so we're going to spoon in the risotto in the bowls. Oh my god, that looks so creamy and oozy. If you like your risotto a little bit more loose, you can add a little bit more water and to the stock, but this is looking so good. Gonna finish it off with a little grating of grana padano, stunning, and then a little drizzle, a very light drizzle of truffle oil. Less is more with this stuff. A little squeeze of lemon, and voila, creamy mushroom, pea, and green bean risotto. Okay, so it's the second meal of this week. We had stir fry last night, but I didn't film it because, I mean, everyone can make a stir fry. This is actually more like an autumnal dish, but the weather's been a bit pants, so it's very needed. This is all the ingredients. It's such an easy dish because you do it all in one oven tray. So this is the oven tray we've got. We've got 2 carrots, some sweet potatoes. I don't know if we'll use all of these, but we're just gonna see what we've got. We've got an apple, a red onion. I'm gonna do some greens on the side. This is just like a cabbage, salt and pepper, and of course you can use regular sausages if you prefer, but these are the Cauldron Lincolnshire sausages and they are delicious. And then for like flavourings, I'm using some of this apple and pear chutney just because it needs using up and I really want to get some room in the fridge. That's a jar. And then we've also got some of this caramelised onion like chutney as well. Fennel seeds and olive oil. We're going to put it all in here, roast it all up, and then yeah, that's it. Okay, so we're going to start peeling the carrots. You can keep the skins on if you prefer, but I'm just going to give them a quick peel. Same for the potatoes as well. You can keep the skins on if you like. I'm going to do a couple peeled, couple with the skins on as well, just for a bit of texture. Okay, so we're just going to roughly chop all of these up. Just take the ends of the carrots off. There we are, they can go to Maggie. And same with the potatoes, just roughly chop them up. You want all of the veg to be roughly the same size, just so it all roast at the same time, but it's not essential if it isn't, don't worry. Don't lose any sleep over it is what I'm saying, guys. Roughly like those size chunks. Okay, let's just move those out of the way. You need a fairly large roasting tray for this. I'm using this big Le Creuset roaster. And then pop them straight in. And then same with the apple as well. Just chop that up, removing the core. And then pop that in too. The apple gives it a lovely sweetness and the core is quite jammy when it roasts too. And same with the onion as well. Just straight down the middle. Remove the skins. And then I'll chop it up into like petals like this and then just pop that in like that. Awesome, so I call that like the trivet base. Okay, I'm gonna drizzle that in some olive oil. Fennel seeds going in, around a teaspoon. Fennel, if you're using real pork sausages, will work amazing. If you've got an actual whole fennel bulb, that'll be delicious in this too. I just remembered in the freezer as well, we had some frozen red cabbage, so I'm just gonna sprinkle some of that in too, just give it a bit of extra colour and crunch. And then we're going to add the Cauldron sausages. We're using 6, it's going to be 3 per portion, which is going to be very generous. But any that we don't eat we can have tomorrow, so just pop those straight in. Drizzle them in olive oil. Scrunch of black pepper. Generous pinch of salt. And that's done. Needs to go into the oven for about, I'd say half an hour, but we're gonna check after 15 minutes. 200 degrees, nice and hot. And then we'll give it a check. With the greens, just whack off the end. You can feed that if you've got an animal. They love that. It's full of like nutritious bits. Mags, have a little nibble. And then just run your knife through. Then we're gonna saute these in a bit of butter, salt and pepper. Okay, this is roasting up beautifully. The sausages have got some colour. Oh, I've just tore that one, that's fine. Just giving it all a little once over. The red cabbage is looking lovely too. The smells, amazing. Just make sure the sausages have got enough room. So we're gonna go back in for another 10, then we'll pull it out and pop the chutneys and glazes in. If you pop them in at the beginning, they do have a tendency to burn. So we're gonna pop this back in now. As you can hear, that is sizzling away beautifully. So I'm gonna pop some of this caramelized onion chutney in. Caramelized onion works so well with sausages. And then I'm going to add in some of my own chutney as well. This is apple and pear chutney. Just give that a lovely stir together. That is looking so good. Amazing. Right, back in the oven just to crisp off, and that is done. Okay, so in a pan, I'm just going to add some butter. It's nice and soft. Probably could do with a larger pan than that, but that's alright. And then I'm going to add in the greens. And give them a good scrunch of salt, pepper, and a little drizzle of olive oil. Just going to add 1 teaspoon of mint sauce. Little fry, and then they're done. Okay, so we're just going to pop the greens in the bowl. They smell so good. You could serve this whatever you like. You can literally just eat it as it is. We've done that before as well. Some broccoli would be good.
Mash.
Mash, yeah, mash would be amazing. If you've got a celeriac as well, celeriac would be wonderful. And do 2 sausages for Zara, is that enough for you?
Yeah, that's fine, although that's yours.
Oh, okay, I'm going to do 3 for me then. That roasted cabbage looks amazing. Whoops. There we are. And there we are, dinner is served. You can honestly have this with anything. It's such a customizable dish, but that glaze on the veg just looks amazing. Nice and healthy as well. Okay, so it is actually a new week. Some of the meals that we planned on having last week, we've actually rolled over to this week. All the ingredients are still absolutely good to go. So this evening we're doing homemade pizzas from dough that was left over in the freezer. So let me show you what we've got. Okay, so this is everything. So we've got 2 lots of dough here. I've actually had these out of the freezer today and they've thawed out, and then I've cling filmed them and left them in a warm place in the flat just so they can prove, so they're good to go. This is an uni pizza dough, but what I'll do is link a recipe down below to really good pizza dough if you do want to make this at home. We've got some roasted garlic in the freezer that needed using. This is roasted elephant garlic. So I'm gonna blend that up with some passata. I'm gonna roast some cherry tomatoes and some sun-dried tomatoes, and that's gonna form a really nice rich tomato base to the pizzas. And then we're just doing a classic margherita today. So we've got basil and mozzarella. This was just some leftover from last week. Some more Italian mozzarella, and we've got some semolina, fine semolina to roll the dough out, and that's it. Okay, so we've got the tomatoes here. Gonna give them a little drizzle in olive oil. Perfect. Then we're gonna do a generous sprinkling of rock salt. Okay, gonna pop that in there. They're gonna roast for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so into the blender, I'm gonna add 1 of these roasted bulbs. I've just had these thawing out. We use the rest in like pasta sauces throughout the week, so they're not as punchy as garlic, so do bear that in mind. That might look like a lot of garlic, but that is a nice little subtle flavour. It smells amazing. I'm gonna grab some sun-dried tomatoes, around 2. I love sun-dried tomatoes. I think they give such a nice, intense flavour. That's 1 and 2. Just drain off a little bit of the oil. Pop that in, and a little squeeze of passata. There we are. Okay, the tomatoes have roasted and they've released all of their lovely juices. So I'm going to pop those into this little blender here. I've seasoned them as well, so this doesn't need any salt. Okay, so we're just rolling out the dough. I think I've overproofed this slightly, so it might be a bit more tricky to roll out, but that's fine. It will still taste delicious. This is just semolina, and he's pushed from the centre out. You don't need a rolling pin, you just use your palms. If you have rings, it's a good idea to take them off. Mine haven't got any jagged edges, so it's fine. If you've got any diamonds, ladies, take them off because you might tear it. And then just start pushing out to form the crust. Pull and flip, and keep on doing that. And you can roll them out as thin or as thick as you like. If you like a slightly thicker pizza, then you can just stop. But if you like thinner, just keep on going. And that's it. Okay, so I'm adding the lovely tomato sauce. It's quite a chunky tomato sauce, but I like that. I think it looks really good. And you can sieve it as well if you're not big on the seeds, but we don't mind. I could really do with one of those small little like, ladles. But anyway, just give it a nice little swirl to the edge. There we go. Okay, some people don't like the basil on before. Some people put it on afterwards. I sometimes do before. Sometimes do after. It's completely dependent on what mood I'm in. Delicious. And a little drizzle of olive oil on top. Again, some people do olive before, after. Always put semolina on your pizza dough, guys. Kind of stuck again. Do you know what? That's fine. Just gonna do that. Cool. Look how good these pizzas look. Oh my goodness, this one's kind of more of a diamond shape, but that's fine. Classic marks, good crust, nice golden colour, lovely smell. And we've just got, a little side salad with it too and some garlic bread. Oh mama. Just a side note, if you don't have a pizza oven, don't worry. If you can get an oven really, really hot, and if you can put a baking tray in that has some kind of like ventilation underneath, or even better, a pizza stone, you can get those relatively inexpensively. I'll leave a couple of links down below, and that's what I used to do before we got the oven. But yeah, great alternative, and it gets good results. Right, I'm going in for a piece. Zara's cutting them valiantly. I'm not just saying it. It was worth the extra fat for the sauce because, delish. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I actually had the curry, which was the final dish of this week, last night, but Zara made it because I didn't get in until 9 o'clock and I wasn't gonna get her to film it. So I really hope you enjoyed this week's recipes and meals, and also what we bought. Everything will be linked down below in terms of what we've ate, all that good stuff, as well as anything that I've used and kitchen equipment, all that good stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Lots of love to you all. Take care, and I'll catch you all very soon in a future video. Bye for now.